Well, hello there, and welcome to our podcast, Wrap Up and Unwind, with Z and Roderick, inspired by our life experiences, where we share our loves of movies, TV series, books, and video games, and also get real with our thoughts on all things concerning life and faith. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify. Hit the subscribe, follow, or sign up button so you don't miss an episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Wrap Up and Unwind with Z and Roderick. We have a guest with us today. It's
Woo!
Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hi,
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm actually kind of refreshed at the moment because I just went outside. Now I'm
Oh,
feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's good. So, Ella, give us a brief intro. How do we all know each other?
We know each other through the public acts, the Odyssey, where we all performed together in London. I'm from Sunderland and I travelled down to London. That's how I met you guys.
Yay!
Woo!
So, so this episode is basically books to movies. So this is our third episode in the series, going on the movie theme. So, as our guest, Ella, why don't you kick us off?
So one of the books to movies that I found that I got that I really enjoy is The Hunger Games. I really like The Hunger
Ooh,
Ooh,
Games.
nice choice.
yes.
Yes, it's like one of my favorite franchises. I'm slowly reading the books. I started with the movies. But
Okay.
yeah, like do you want the brief of the Hunger Games or
Yeah, give us a
yeah?
brief if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Hunger Games
Oh,
is obviously people from 12 to 18 who go together and fight to the death, but obviously then there's the capital, and then obviously as the story goes on, they like take over and obviously the capital's no more.
Yep.
Just a little brief, but yes, it's very, very good.
Oh, okay. What would you rate the Hunger Games out of 10?
5/10 because I love it. I love it
Oh,
so much.
yes. We got our
wow.
first 10.
Which one's your favorite though? Like which movie?
Catching Fire has to be the best one.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
The new
true.
one was really good. The new one that came out was really good. So like the difference, like obviously when it went back,
Yeah,
like so it's more in the past. So I like
yeah,
that. So I
Oh,
feel like
okay.
there could be so many more spin-offs from each person's story from like the actual like
yeah.
trilogy of them. But yeah, the second one has to be like top notch tier.
I haven't
Nice, nice.
seen the newest one, which is the Ballads of Songs, I think. How was that?
Yes.
How was that?
It was really good actually. I went to the cinema with some friends. It was really good to go see it. It was different obviously, but it's about I think what really helped with that film because you find out about the president and stuff because obviously
Yeah,
you see him as the
President
bad
Snow.
character and you
Yeah.
like see his development. So it was really cool.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay, that's cool.
That's good. Roderick,
Yeah.
what's yours?
The first movie I would say is Matilda. It's apparently a book as well. So
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I
It
like.
is.
Yeah, it's a
It
book.
is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
roll
started
down
with a
there.
book. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Something
pretty
new.
good. I watched the movie. I didn't read the book,
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently it's kind of one to one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it is at least. But yeah, it looked like it was from the reviews. So yeah, I love that story, especially with the fact that the teacher is so iconic, the
Yeah.
headmistress, I should say. Yeah, so
Oh.
yeah, I love it.
Did you see the musical one?
No, I didn't. No, anything, any future Matilda versions, I
Is it
didn't
no?
watch. Yeah, no, no. Because
I'm
they
with
change it so much. I don't want to see.
I'm with
I
you on
don't.
that.
I want the original to stay in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So what would you rate Matilda out of
I
10?
would say it's a good 7. I would say it's a good 7. Yeah.
Okay. Mm,
Yeah.
that's good. Um, for me, I would say my one of my favorite movies, which would be The Fault in Our Stars, which the book came
Mm,
out in 2012, I think. And then the movie came out 2 years later, 2014. I actually read the book first. It's by John Green.
Oh, okay.
It's an amazing, like, I think I have a picture of myself, like, after reading it, just crying, crying. I think I've seen the movie, I don't know how many times, but I have seen it a lot of times. Really. I
Yeah.
love it. I just love it so much. The storyline dealing with grief. I think it was inspired. Apparently, I read that it was, I think, inspired by Shakespeare. I think
Oh,
one of the
really?
stories, yeah, Shakespeare, basically.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know that.
yeah, Google it. Um, but it's such a beautiful movie. I think dealing with grief and like a chronic illness, which was cancer, and going through the motion with it and getting the female in the book, the 16-year-old, had to go into a support group. And there
Okay.
was where she met like her boyfriend, the guy who she ended up dating, and she learned a lot from him. He died at the end, spoiler alert. Which was really
Spoilers
which was,
everywhere.
yeah, everywhere, left, right, and center. Which was really sad. But overall, I really liked it. For it being a slight, not really depressing, but slight depressing movie stroke book, it was still beautiful. So I would give it, and Ed Sheeran's song is in it as well. So all rounder for me. So I would give it a 10
Like, wow, 10. You
overall.
guys
Yeah.
both have 10s.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I also love the Hunger Games as well. I've watched the
But
Hunger Games, yeah, multiple times. I haven't seen the new one though, but all in
I'm
all,
the odd one out. I haven't watched any Hunger Games or read the books. I mean, I read the first book, but
okay,
like 3 chapters of it. Yeah,
and you were done.
I
I'm
couldn't
like
finish it.
I'm like that. I think with the books, it's like what was it? I felt like it's a lot harder to read the books than it was with the
Yeah.
movie. But I feel like if I read the books first before the movie, it
Mm,
might have been different. But I know that with the books, the cat's a different breeding and the fans kicked off. Because
Oh,
yeah.
in the books, the cat's like a ginger cat.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the first
oh,
movie, it's like a black and white cat.
Yeah,
So
like
like
a
yeah,
black and
fans
white.
weren't
Yeah.
oh
happy.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fans were not happy.
I think
I was late watching them.
yeah. I read the book. I
I,
remember the day. Sorry, Ella. The
oh,
day
it's
I
okay.
was going to see the movie, I was still reading the book. I was like trying to finish it before I go watch it. But luckily I didn't because I think I got to this part of Rue's death when she dies in this
Mm,
one. And I
Oh.
remember being so sad and I was like, okay, I just can't. I rather just, watch the movie and let it speed up because
yeah.
I literally can't read this book anymore. So I think that was the only, funny enough, I have all the books, but that's the only one I ever read. But I've watched all the
Okay.
Mm.
movies and I was like, yeah, I will stick to the movies. I can't read the books anymore. I'm good. So far so good.
But now I
Was it
know that someone called Rue has died.
has died,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Beautiful actress, by
that's
the
spoiler.
way. um, what's the next one, Ella?
My next one, it's the book series Divergent. It's also
Oh,
movies, and it goes to like I can't remember the other two names, but because it has three separate names, but it's like the
Insurgents.
trilogy. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Divergent's like obviously the society that's like is like divided in like the four factions,
Yep.
and then
Mhm.
obviously when you get to an age, they do a test,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously they see what faction they go into. But then if you're divergent, they don't want you to be mixtures of all. They want you to be like very separate and stuff. The
Yeah.
first film I thought was very good,
Okay.
but I think as it goes on, it's a bit
You
like
ruined
it's
it.
good, just not as good as the first one. So I think I'd give that
Yes.
about like maybe 6 or 7. First one I'd give like 7. Then I think it would slowly start going down, to be honest. But it's the first one's still a really good movie.
I'm with you on that because I prefer the first movie. The rest two, I was just like, I think they're just creating chaos for no reason. To be fair, the
Yeah,
last, yeah, the last one I think is Allegiant. I might be mixing
yeah.
them up. Which one was it where they tried to trap her in some place they had gone to? Where I think they were making her like anyway something because it seemed like she had all the factions basically, and so they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna
think
keep you." Yeah, it got
think
weird.
think it was a Legion, yeah. It was that
Yeah,
one,
it
yeah. I
got
think they just finally ran out of storyline.
right. Given that it's a book, it's like you guys lost me. I'm good. I'm
Yeah, no.
So
See,
Divergent, I would say.
this is another book series I tried to get into. I just couldn't finish it.
Did you try to read
I
Divergent?
tried to read it. I tried it. Yeah, on Amazon. I think it was on Amazon. I think I
Oh
bought the book,
gosh.
but
Yeah,
I didn't read
you
it.
can't
I
do
haven't
it.
read the books. I've watched the movie. I
Yeah.
haven't read the books. I think after watching the last two movies, maybe I was like, maybe it's not worth watching the reading the book. Maybe
It's not. It's most definitely not.
it's not.
It's not. I agree. I
Or at
definitely
least now
agree
you
with
know.
you on that. No, I know. I did. I have all the books, funny enough. I just never read any of them. I was like, let me just go with because the actress in it and the one who plays her brother, they play yeah, the female and
Couple of
male
Fault in
lead
Our
in the
Stars,
Fault in Our
yeah.
Stars. Yeah, so I think that's why I was like, oh, let me go see this Divergent. What's
Ah.
about? And then, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, he played her brother, and now he's playing her love interest. I'm like, they're actors. That's what happens. Calm
Yeah.
down.
You bamboozled.
Right. um, what's your next one, Roderick?
This one is interesting. Cloudy
Okay.
with a Chance of Meatballs is
That's a
apparently a
movie.
book.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
are
it's
you
a book.
finding this?
I had to
Oh,
Google it. I was like, you know what? Forget the manga. Let me look at actual animated movies that were books. Yeah.
so it's a manga.
I
So
didn't know that was a
no, it's actually a book. It's a book. It started
I
off
didn't
as
know
a
that was a
book.
book.
Yeah.
I
Me
didn't
It's
too.
a
I
good
either.
didn't
movie
know.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
So
I think
it's pretty good. I think it's 1-to-1 as well to how the movie is.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the movie exaggerates it, but yeah.
Oh, the movie's so good though.
Yeah,
Have you
it's so
seen?
Can't
good.
diss the movie.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen all of them? I think I've only seen the first one.
Not all of them though. I think the first
Um,
and the second one.
There's only two.
was it two?
No, I
I've
think
seen
there's
them both.
more.
There's more. I think
I
I thought
think
there
there's.
was only two.
I feel like there is two.
Let me
That's
look
why I
into
said,
it
have you
actually.
seen all of them? Because I feel like they're like three or
Yeah,
something.
I think there is three.
There might be.
So,
I'm not sure though.
yeah, which is why I said, have
Meatballs.
you seen all of them? I could be
I think
wrong.
I've seen two.
No,
I
I
think
think
I've
there's only
seen one.
two.
Oh, it's only two. I've seen one.
I'm scared if there's more. But if there's more, then cool, I guess.
I've only seen one.
Well, I wouldn't watch it, but it's cool. Good to know.
Why?
No, I mean, it's a good concept, but only two movies is good. Two
Oh,
movies is
okay.
Yeah, there's
good.
only
So,
two.
what's your
Yeah.
rating?
I would say it's not as good as Hotel Transylvania, but I would say it's like 6.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like 6. Yeah, yeah.
that's good. My next one is Twilight. You
Okay.
know my history with Twilight.
Yeah.
Um, I actually, to be fair, initially I wasn't into Twilight. I'm not gonna lie, until I went through a depressive stage, and then I got into Twilight because I was bored. But I like all the books. I've read all of them like multiple times. Actually, got them signed as well. So, yes. Yeah, I got
Oh,
to
the
attend the
bonus.
premiere for Breaking Them Part One, so I got the book signed by Taylor, Kristen, and Robert Pattinson, all three of them. I like the series. To be fair, the first one is not my favorite because I don't know. It's just no. I think that it felt a
It's
bit off for some reason.
a bit cringe.
Right? The first one was I'm not feeling it. So whenever I rewatch it, I never always pick the first one. I can start manageable from New Moon, or I just
Mm,
go through. Eclipse is my favorite. I think because that was
mm.
the introduction with the new vampires um coming in and then breaking down one and two. As well, we got new vampires. So I really like them. I would rate Twilight an 8. It's not
I
that
think
bad.
Twilight's like a cringe
Okay.
that you need. I think it's good,
Ye-
but it's really
Is
cringy.
it,
It's like a cringe you need.
thank you. See? Thank you.
To be fair, I watched Twilight pretty late. I think it was only a couple of years ago when I watched them.
Is
So I never
it?
watched them, and my friends were like, "What? You've never watched it before?" I was like, "No." So the sat us down and I watched the first one with them, and then after that, kind of you just kind of go. I think I was up quite pretty late watching a lot of them, and then it was it was the last one. Obviously, it's been out a while, but
Yeah.
it's when the fight in Carlisle's head. is gone, and you'll never get that reaction back. Once you've seen it once, you
You
can't get it
you
back. And I was like,
can't
oh,
forget.
honestly, I was like, oh. And then it's when 1,000 years come on, you're like, oh,
I
sad and cry.
uh,
Ella,
I feel bad because I have no idea what
when
you
I
guys are
tell
talking
you
about.
that scene, I was at the Breaking Dawn Part 2 premiere, and we're in the cinema when that scene came up. I remember everybody in the cinema like, the gospel. Everybody was like, no. I remember being just like, what just happened? And then we all found out, no, it was a vision. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He didn't actually die. Okay. We can all
Oh no, I
breathe.
was like, oh my God. I was like, I got a shock when I saw that. I was like, no.
No. And then I'm with you on when 1,000 years, when that came up, I actually started to cry. I didn't realize I was crying until my friend who was
Wow.
with me, my bestie, was like, dude, you were crying. I was like, I know. This is it. We're done. Let's end it. What do I do now?
I
But,
know.
just for the memories, for me, it's an 8, definitely. Was
Mm.
it?
Wow.
Yeah. Just I think more and more, I'm sentimental. So just because of that, how it made me feel around that period where everything was so bleak, it held me together. So definitely an 8. What's your next one, Ella?
My next, I'd say maybe Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, maybe like for like
Okay.
from Roald Dahl. That'd be a good one because it's had so many different like versions of movies as well.
Yeah,
So I think I've read the books obviously when I'm younger. So obviously it's about like you win the golden ticket, you obviously go to the factory, and Charlie actually becomes like actually gets the factory because obviously
yeah,
in reality it was all this competition. So
yeah.
my favorite, I would say my favorite's like the OG, like the original. I think it's like the 19, is it 1970s one?
Yes.
Like the really old one. I really like that one. The Johnny Depp one is good. It's okay, but I think I haven't watched that one a lot. But then I saw the newer one, Wonka, in the cinema, and me and my friends saw this on a fluke because we were going to see something else. I can't remember what we were going to see, but we saw it in 4D,
Okay.
which was
4D.
interesting. Yeah, so like
Like
in
40.
Newcastle, so in Newcastle, there's
Yeah.
like a 4D thing, so like the chairs
Oh.
move and like
Oh.
does all the sensory 4D does all the sensory stuff.
Oh,
So like
okay.
the chairs moves like the air, the
Uh,
water. Like if there is water, it's like I saw the new Avatar in
Yeah.
4D and like the water goes new. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yes, I
But
saw
I
that
think they tried
one.
to make the air smell of chocolate.
oh.
It just didn't smell of chocolate. I don't know what it smelled of, but it was an interesting smell.
Oh gosh.
That is not a
But the
good
film
choice.
was good.
This is
Yeah,
so
I
great.
know. But it was quite fun as it was. But I'd say the first one I'd give like maybe I'd say probably be like an 8 or something. It's pretty good.
Okay.
And then Johnny Depp one, what were you? Maybe a 5, easy middle.
Yeah.
And then the new one, I'm not 100% sure because it was good. It just like it was a lot of. I think it's because I've never seen Timothy Chalamet sing before. It
Okay.
really caught me off guard. It was like a
Yeah.
very musical film. It was
Mm-hmm.
just funny. So I
Wait, it's a
think
musical? It's a
maybe a
musical
6.
thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of singing in it. Yeah,
There's a lot of
Well, I'm not watching
singing,
it
but
then.
you're not watching it.
I'm not gonna watch it then.
I haven't
Why? Do
watched
you
it
not like
either.
musicals,
I
Roger?
don't. I
No,
don't
no,
plan
no.
to. I haven't seen it either, and I
Oh,
don't plan to. When you see remakes, they have to be something different from the first one, but still that feeling of nostalgia. And
yeah.
sometimes they tend to ruin it.
Well, I know the recent remake with Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
It's about how what Willy Wonka became,
Willy Wonka.
like how he got his factory and stuff. So it's the story. It's like a prequel
Oh,
in a sense.
okay, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
interesting.
I thought it was like a remake of what we've seen
No, it's a
sometimes.
prequel to it. But obviously,
Okay.
Roger will not know because he won't watch it because it's a musical.
It's a music. I don't like that.
I mean,
That sucks.
aren't the rest musicals? I thought they were singing,
No,
the other ones as well. They
I
weren't.
mean the OG one. I don't think
It's
there
the Oompa
was.
Loompa song.
Yeah, the Impa Loompa one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's catchy.
Okay,
Are these
yes,
songs
that
good
one.
though?
But do you mean like? Because sometimes when we say musical, do you mean like singing from beginning to end?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh God.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
The singing throughout, yeah.
No, then I'm not seeing.
oh no.
I'm, not,
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm definitely not seeing it now. Because I
yeah, I
thought
don't
you
think I
just
got it.
meant, oh, the Oompa Loompa song and maybe another scene, another singing. That's fine. But like beginning to
Yeah.
no, I'm good. They lost me. Roderick, what do you have for us next?
Well, this movie's kind of old. It's
Okay.
called Hoodwinked. It's like a um, it's
That
a
sounds
different way of
familiar.
telling the Red Riding Hood story.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's pretty good. I love the Billy Goat in the movie. He's my
yeah.
favorite character.
Okay.
I
It's
kind
an
of know what you're
animated
talking
film.
about. Yes, I
Yeah,
It
think I know what you're
sounds
talking about.
familiar. Sounds
yeah,
familiar, but I
yeah.
just can't
If I
set
could
the
show you a
words.
picture of it, then I would show you.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yeah. It's an animated film that's really old. There was a second movie that was made of it. I didn't like
Okay.
that one at all. But yeah, this first one was really good, really funny as well. And I love the fact that the wolf is kind of the good guy, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah.
okay.
It's quite interesting, yeah.
That's different. So what will
Yeah.
you rate that? Have you seen the movie or have you read
Uh,
the books?
I've seen the movie. I didn't
Oh.
read Red Riding Hood. And I know the story.
See,
Yeah.
there's a Red Riding Hood that I
There's too many
like.
versions of the book.
Yeah, there's one I like, which was directed by the director who directed Twilight, Catherine Hardwicke. I really
Yeah.
loved that one. I've watched that multiple times. I like that. It was very dark though, that particular Red Riding
Oh,
Hood. But I really liked that one.
yeah.
So,
Apparently, the first version of Red Riding Hood was French, was published in France.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was interesting. I think 1967, if I remember.
oh wow,
I'll
that
double check.
yeah, that is very long.
Um,
That's a good one. So what will you rate this?
I'll rate it a good 5. It's good for first watch, but not
Okay,
like
a second
like
watch.
repeats. Yeah, it's good for
Okay,
like the first time. Yeah, but
okay.
after a while, you're only gonna like the Billy Goat. Everything else is kind of like a drag to watch.
Like a nope.
fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think my next one is The Choice. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I haven't read the book, but I've watched the movie. The book is by Nicholas Spark. He writes all those like romancy type books. There are a lot of his movies actually out. But The Choice is my favorite. And it stars one of my favorite actors, Teresa Palmer, and I think what's his name? Oh, Benjamin Walker. And I like the story because it was like these two people who were neighbors and just had this undeniable connection. And it was like, are we gonna date? Are we not gonna? I think she was in a relationship. I can't really remember, but I guess once that ended, it was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And they had this such a beautiful um love story because I I don't know whether it's in the book, but in the movie she gets into this really bad accident, which the husband, they're married at this point, he blames himself for because he was supposed to meet her at the restaurant. I think it was their anniversary, and he was late because he kind of forgot. And when he remembered, it was, I think she had left the restaurant and she was going back home because he texted her, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I think the restaurant closed or something. So she had to leave. And it was raining and she got into this bad accident. She was in a coma for a very long time. And at some point, they were telling him, oh, you might need to switch off because it's been a while. We don't think she's gonna wake up, but she did. Um, but all in all, it's a very beautiful story, and it stars one of my favorite actresses. So I would give it a 9. If
Wow.
you, yeah, if you like any romancy type stories, you should check it out. I think it's on Prime. I don't know if they still have it. Well, it should be on Prime Video. That was the last place I watched it on. So if you like that, check it out.
Also, I
Ella.
double checked. I
Yeah.
double checked. The Red Riding Hood came out 1697. So it's
Wait,
really, really old.
one.
Yeah, it's really
That,
old.
that is so old. That is so very old. Ella, what was your next one?
When I was looking on Google before,
Yeah.
apparently the Princess Diaries was a book. Apparently,
Oh, it is?
Ooh.
that's what I saw. Apparently, it is a book,
Oh,
but I've only seen the movies. But if I know it's a book, I might actually read it because I really love the films.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like obviously, it's about like the girl, like a girl from San Francisco who doesn't know she's a princess, and then she finds out, and she like has all this like she learns how to be a princess, and obviously it's Julie Andrews
Yeah.
and obviously Anne
Oh,
Hathaway.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a movie I can watch like all the time. It's a iconic
It's
Disney
a feel
movie.
good. It's a feel good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
to
feel
feel
good
good.
movie.
And they want to make a third one, and they need to make a third one.
Yeah, I think,
They want to remake it. Yeah.
yeah, I think they keep talking
okay.
about that, but we don't know if that's a done deal yet. I don't
No,
think they've confirmed whether it's a done deal, but that'd be really
I
nice
think
though.
I think they've said that like all the actors want to,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. But they need to because oh, such a good movie. I think I'd give that like at least like an 8 or a 9.
right?
Just
I've
yeah,
watched that a couple of times, so I'm
yeah,
definitely I'm with you on that. It's such a beautiful story, but it'd be nice, like we said, if they make a new one. That'd be great.
yeah.
Rod, what's the next one?
Yeah. My next one is Coraline. It's
Yes.
That
yeah,
sounds
it's a really
familiar.
good. Yeah,
An
it's about
animation?
yeah, it's animation. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a young girl that moves into a new place, finds a secret passage, and enters a alternate version of her world. I guess if
Um,
you
was the actress Dakota
Yeah,
Fanning?
the button eyes. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't.
yeah.
I never watched it, but I know of it.
I'm surprised you
I've
guys remember
watched
the
it.
celebrity names. Like, how do you keep that in your head? Like,
You just do. It just happens. If you like them, it sticks. It kind of
fair.
sticks. It just happens. You like it?
Yeah,
Fair.
I've watched Coraline. I think near the end when it gets all dark when I was younger, I
Yeah, I
was like,
love it.
I'm scared of this.
Yeah, it
I
gives you
don't
goosebumps a
like
little
this.
bit. A little
It goes a
goosebumps.
bit
Like,
dark. Yeah,
yeah,
it's good though. I haven't watched it in
yeah.
a while, but
Been ages. Been ages. I kind of wish there was like a new movie that came out with it, that world.
mm,
Yeah, so
Really?
it
that'd be
sucks there's
cool.
only one.
Who directed it? I'm thinking Tim Burton. I think
No idea.
it's like
I
his
never looked into
genre.
it.
He does all those
Like the dark.
yeah, dark stuff. I think that's his aesthetic. He does stuff.
Okay.
He did Cop's Bride, right? Am I mixing it up with
Yes.
someone else? Yes, that's
Mhm.
right. Haven't seen Cop's Bride either, but I know his work. But you say you're rating that. What you rating?
I'm gonna say it's a good
Caroline?
8. It's a good 8 because it's really interesting how
You love your
they flip, how they
eights
make the
today.
world more dark. Yeah,
Okay. You love your
over
eights
time.
today.
Yeah. It's hard to get a 9 out of me.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, I think for me, my last one will be Lawless. I haven't read the book.
Oh,
Actually,
that sounds
actually have two copies of that book because I got it the year the movie was coming out. I got it as a birthday present from my sister, my younger sister, and my best friend. Haven't read the book, but I've seen the movie a couple of times. It's basically, I think it's, I can't remember what year it's set, but it's set in that like prohibition era, and it's bootlegging basically. It's a true story. It's by three brothers. I think one of the brothers, one of the family members, or something wrote the book. Um, and I really like it. It has a lot of my favorite actors in there. So that was really Tom Hardy is in it. So obviously you know how I feel about Tom Hardy. And the movie is in, I'm like, yes, let's go. Um, he's in it and he plays, I think he plays the eldest brother, which is like my favorite of all of them. Because he was this brother who was always very quiet, but can get very violent real quick if you push
Ooh.
him. Yeah, he was very protective. He was very protective of his siblings. Like he doesn't. There were three brothers. He doesn't. He doesn't play. and I think he fell in love. I can't remember the person's name, but it was played by Jessica Chastain. I love me some
Wow.
Jessica Chastain. Um, um, it was such a beautiful movie, and it was during that, like I said, that kind of time where it's bootlegging, it's illegal, and the brothers were like, "Well, we're not gonna pay you any money. Come for us if you can." And the villain, I guess, the bad was it police officer or something? Anyway, he worked for the law, the government, was played by Guy Ritchie. And that kind of made me have like a different opinion of Guy Ritchie's work after that. Because that character, I don't want to say hates, but I did. I was not a fan at all.
Oh.
He was really mean. He was really mean. But I love the story. It's such a Chuckle is a true life story, but it's still beautiful all the same. Um, what will I rate that? I think I'll rate it a 9, given that it stars a lot of
Wow.
my favorites. Yeah, a lot of my favorites. Actors Gary Oldman was in that. Ugh, love it. So it's such a beautiful, a beautiful story at the same time. It was also very scary as well because people died. I think there was a scene where the eldest brother got attacked in it, and
Oh.
oh, yeah, it was not he got viciously attacked. It wasn't looking he almost died. But the person he ended up marrying, she rescued him. She got him to the hospital quick. Which was also very sweet. But all in all, yeah, it's a nice my kind of movie. But is
Sweet.
there sorry?
That sounds good.
Mm. Is there any like book to movies you guys would like to see and haven't seen? Do you guys have anyone?
Uh, I don't have any in mind. At least not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Do you have anyone, Ella?
Um, Book the movie that I haven't seen. I don't know really at the minute. It's not really. It's hard to think of actually. I feel like because like the ones that I've seen are like the big blockbuster ones, so I've already
Yeah,
seen them.
yeah.
But I think because I saw Poor Things in the cinema. It's very like absurd and it's very strange. I think
Mm.
I'd like to read that book. I think because it'd have more. I would it's only a movie you could watch once.
Yeah.
It's a very I think it's very absurd. Like if you put it in the theater, it's very absurd theater, but made into a movie. But I think
Okay.
sometimes if you wanted to like, I feel like I'd wanted to like maybe get into the book and see what like if there's anything that's been missed. I think that'd be quite like interesting to like look into maybe.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
Nice.
maybe that one.
Okay, sounds
But yeah,
reasonable. Sounds
yeah.
reasonable enough. So I
So
think we've come to the end of our episode. Roderick,
yeah,
yourself.
looks like it's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe the video on YouTube and also follow us on Spotify and also our social handles as well. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Ella, thank you so much.
Thanks for joining.
Thank,
So
thank
much for
you.
joining
Thanks.
us. I mean, we're gonna have you again, obviously, because we're just wonderful. Looking forward to the next episode, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right,
Okay,
peace.
bye.